Hello everyone, I'm Octopus, and today it is gonna be a slightly different kind of video because it is gonna be a video, a pretty long one, and in which I want to talk about some things. Kind of the state of the game and some issues that, in my personal opinion, there have been going on in World of Warships for quite a bit of time by now, and I'm genuinely suggesting here some changes to wargaming. I know that my channel is pretty much unknown and almost no one follows me and no one knows about me, but whatever. Nevertheless, I feel like giving my I don't know, my impression, my suggestions, my ideas about what can be tweaked and refined of this game, because one thing that I didn't really experiment was low tier matchmaking after the carrier rework. So since I'm kind of, let's say, teaching how to play to a new player. As you can see, this guy is 2 energy in division with me with the Phoenix. He's a very he's a brand new player, and I was I was telling him, we can play some divisions together at tier 4, which is the higher tier he got so far, and I will try to, let's say, carry your team, and so you can have some more experience with your ship, so you can speed up with the grind a little bit faster, and the usual stuff. So I didn't play tier 4 in such a long time, and of course I took the Orion, in my opinion the best tier 4 battleship, to kind of carry this game. And I was expecting to to dumpster the enemy team, in the sense that I am an experienced player, yes, and I'm playing a very powerful ship like Orion, at least in my opinion. And I was like, this is gonna be easy. This is gonna be easy, right? This is gonna be an easy carry, and we are gonna dumpster the enemy team really fast. But I found out that this is not exactly the case, since there is an issue, which, in my opinion, tier 4 matchmaking is affected by carriers. It is way too much affected by tier 4 carriers, because I played a bunch of games in tier 4 with the Orion, and I honestly found carriers every single match that we played together, me and Stu Energy, and the vast majority of those matches was with double carrier, which is even worse, like this one. So what I want to talk about is I'm not gonna say that CVs are OP, CVs are that shouldn't be in the game, they should be banned, removed, or whatever. This is not gonna happen, never, because CVs are here, CVs have been reworked, and now we have to deal with them. So fine, okay, I'm fine with CVs being in the game. But what I want to say is that this particular kind of CVs, this new design, let's say, of these action CVs compared to the old RTS CVs, is not the best design for the game health, in my opinion, especially at those low tiers, because no one has AA basically, and everyone is coming from the tier 1, 2, and 3 experience, in which there are no carriers basically, and suddenly they are gonna bump into this new class that they don't have any kind of tool to deal with basically, because literally no one has AA at these tiers. Look at that, this is already a double citadel from the Rhine. So this new German carrier being added to the game. So why is a class able to dumpster all the others at low tiers? I mean, it's fine if you tell me, Hakuryu or Manfred from Richthofen or Midway can shit on a lot of ships at tier 10. It's it is not fine, but it is less painful because, at tier 10 there are more experienced players. The ships have more HP, and it is not as painful. And sometimes you can even shut down some planes here and there, so you can pretend you are doing something to the carriers. But at these tiers, ships have such a low HP pool, and literally you are not able to shoot down any kind of plane, any kind of meaningful plane, like this guy in the Rhine is showcasing for us. He is constantly coming after me with his AP bombers, and I'm not able to deal any kind of significant damage to his planes. In fact, the only damage that I'm taking basically this game is from his planes. And this is another double citadel. As you can see, 2 strikes from the same guy. It is not the other Rhine, it is the same guy. He got a double citadel. Okay, so, and this is damage that I cannot heal because I'm a battleship, and I cannot heal citadel damage. And I can heal only 10% of this, which is basically nothing. As you can see, I'm able to dumpster all the other classes, GDs, cruisers, enemy battleships, but I cannot do anything about the carriers unless they potato, like this other Rhine is doing. She's mispositioned, and this is the only case when I'm able to deal any kind of damage to those carriers when they misplay. But why? Why a single class in the game has to have 0 counter, basically? I don't understand. This is not a rant video about the specific player, because this guy, the nuclear chaos guy, he played very well. So well done to him for let's say exploiting his class and his ship perfectly. So because he's perfectly using the full potential of his class. So once again, well done to him. No offense intended in this video, absolutely. I'm just talking about the base design of the class, which is once again not healthy for the game. Because what are new players gonna do when they are gonna find a carrier? They're gonna just endure the pain and hope that it is not gonna last too much, and they are gonna speed up and proceed to higher tiers. But how can this be fun for a new player to fight a class that he doesn't know of and he never faced, and he has no ways of countering? Where is the fun in that? It feels like there's a privileged class in this game, which is carriers in this specific case, that are way too much more powerful than the others in such an easier way. Because if you tell me, okay, this class is so powerful, but it is so difficult to master, it's okay, I'll take it, big effort, big reward, fine. But this is not a class in which you need to be the best player in the game to be effective. This is one of the main issues I have with these new carriers. The old RTS carriers were pretty much hated, but by the whole player base, because they were super powerful. I'm not telling that the old carriers were not powerful, but they were super powerful, but they needed a lot of skill to be mastered. And when I say a lot of skill, I mean a lot of skill. This is why the carrier population in the old RTS mode, at tier 10 at least, was like 2-3% of the whole player base, which was basically nothing. Nowadays, the carrier population is vastly increased. So in this sense, World Gaming succeeded in with their goal to increase the carrier population of the server. But at what cost? At what cost, Wargaming? Is this the path that you want to take? A game where no skill is required for a specific class, and that can outclass basically all the others, especially new players. You should, in my opinion, you should take more care of new players, because these are the players that might, spend some money on your game in the next future. Because, I'm an experienced player. I've been playing this game for like almost 5 years now. And I have a lot of premiums, a lot of stuff I got everything I need basically in this game. So I will not spend. I'm not likely to spend any kind of money on this game unless I want to buy like I don't know, some premium account. But once again, I don't need to farm any experience, any credits, any free XP. I have literally everything I need in this game already. Sorry. So I'm not the one that will spend a lot of money on your game to get new stuff, because I already have them. So new players on the other side are, in my opinion at least, a vast I don't know, audience which is more likely to spend money on your game. So from a business point of view, I don't think it is a wise decision to make the life of low tier ships so painful with double carrier matchmaking, with no counterplay. Because a new player is gonna experience the game, and he's gonna play like tier 1, 2, 3, and he's gonna say, oh, okay, those ships are fine. I like playing, I don't know, destroyers, for example. I like to torpedo these battleships from behind the island, or to YOLO rush someone. Fine. But then once they reach tier 4 and they find double CV matchmaking, they will have a hard time enjoying their gameplay, because we all know how carriers can be painful to deal for destroyers at all tiers basically. So how is this fine? How is this a good design in this sense? Same deal for battleships. As you can see, imagine an unexperienced player playing this match instead of me. Okay, literally, I'm doing whatever I can to carry this game, and it doesn't seem to be enough. Not because my team is made of potatoes or whatever you can say, because potatoes are everywhere in my team and in the enemy team, and it is expected at this tier. It is normal. It is completely fine. But what is not fine is that a single ship of a specific class is able to completely annihilate me, and which I'm supposedly a good player and a vastly better player than the average player that you're gonna find at this tier. I mean, this is not a rant that I'm doing for this specific battle. This is just silly and doesn't make any sense. It is just I don't know. This is another citadel, by the way, from the very same guy. This is just a pure consideration of the average gameplay. I don't know how to say the average state of the low tier matchmaking. This is another double citadel, and as you can see, I cannot use properly my consumables, my repair party, because I cannot heal anything almost about this damage that I'm taking, damage that I cannot avoid. I don't have any counter move to this damage that I'm taking. I can avoid DD torpedoes, I can avoid battleship damage, I mean, I can mitigate at least. I can mitigate cruiser damage, but I can't do anything about carriers damage. How is that fair? This is a genuine question. How fair and how fun is to play those tiers for new players? I don't know. I found zero enjoyment in playing those tiers because I felt like powerless against this class, and I cannot even imagine how frustrating it would be for a new player that has been playing, I don't know, his battleship for like 10, 15, 20, 50 games to fight against the carriers all of a sudden and being completely powerless. Everything he learned about the matchmaking in low tiers in 1, 2, and 3 is completely useless against this specific class that is gonna find at tier 4. Same deal for cruisers, for positioning, for whatever. Same deal for destroyers, using their stealth, their concealment. So I understand that the double CV matchmaking at tier 4 is made for shorten the queue time for CV players, because otherwise they will be stuck in the queue for such a long time. But I don't think that this is worth it. I mean, why is a class, why a class has to be privileged like that, uh, being able to dumpster all the others. Once again, this doesn't seem fair to me, honestly. This is another double citadel. So the only thing that I can do here is pray to RNGesus that this guy with his AP bombs doesn't citadel me and he gets a bad drop, or that the bombs do some overpens or some shatters of my turrets or something like this. So also from another point of view, good games, in my opinion, are the games where people don't leave in a short period of time. Good games and long-lasting games are the games where people are encouraged to stick with the game, to stick around with the game, and master all the classes, all the abilities that are required to play this game, which is not an easy game to learn, which is a good thing in my opinion, because it actually requires some dedication, some time, which is a good thing, because people don't like games where it is everything is super easy and super fast, because you get bored pretty soon, and of course you don't want people to get bored, because then they're gonna leave and they're not gonna spend money, they're not gonna buy premium, whatever. So why is a single class not part of this system, in the sense this system of learning? And if you want to be effective, you need to master some skills, some abilities before being able to be effective in the battle. For example, if you in a battleship don't know how to aim, how to position yourself, you might struggle, and you will struggle being effective even at low tiers, okay? Which is fine, because you're still learning the game. You are not expected to be super powerful or super influential in the battle outcome from the very start. This is not fair. This is, I mean, in anything in your life, it is gonna be like that, because whenever you're doing a new job, a new experience, a new school, you need time to understand, to learn, to be effective, and how to master things. Carriers are not following this pattern. New players are being put into the position to be super effective from the very start of the game, basically, because you don't need too much experience to reach tier 4 carriers. You can get to a tier 4 carrier in like one day, basically, if you have premium account. So this is super easy, but this is a genuine question. Why? I don't know. Plus, the fact that the new carrier gameplay, in my opinion, is super repetitive and super boring, makes new carrier players not being the guys that are willing to spend money on this game, because they're gonna proceed through the grind of the line, tier 4, 6, 8, 10. Then you're gonna play some battles, and then they're gonna change class most likely, because unless they are super excited about playing the same ship and in the same way all the time, which is a possibility, of course, but I don't think that this is the vast majority of the player base. So in my opinion, right now, wargaming, you are basically screwing up a lot of people, a lot of new players, and even some experienced players, because there is this privileged class, which, as you can see, it is literally dumpstering this game. The only ship that is still alive, that is not a carrier, is our Clemson, that is AFK, basically, in the far back in our spawn. And we killed one CV because she mispositioned, and we caught her. So how is that fair that out of 3 not AFK ships still alive in this game, all 3 are carriers? Okay, is this fine? Is this what the game is intended to be? I'm not sure, but once again, +1 GG to this nuclear chaos player in the Orion, because he made the right calls in this match. He focused almost only me the entire game, and he succeeded in sinking me, and he also made the right move in going inside B cap. So well done to him. But nevertheless, no offense needed, but this guy is a fairly new player. And he's basically a potato in everything, even in CVs. And we are gonna take a look at his stats just after this game. No stat shaming intended, just a proof that what I'm saying is just the truth, you know. So these are the general stats of this guy, okay? So once again, well done to him, +1 to him, GG for him to being able to carry his team. He got a solo warrior in the end, so because the time elapsed. So well done to him once again. But as you can see, this is the kind of player that completely annihilated me, and I had no counter to. So this guy has barely, I mean, he has far less than 2k battles played, and he has a pretty bad win rate. He has a pretty bad average damage. He has bad accuracy, whatever you want. Nevertheless, he was more than able to completely shit on me, and just because he was playing a carrier, and in the specific a German carrier. So these are his stats with this carrier. You might say, oh, but he's shit in all the classes, but he is a very good carrier player. This is not the case, because he has only 34 battles played. He has 47% win rate. He has barely 40k average damage. Maybe that was the game of his life. I'm not sure. But I think he focused almost only me basically for the entire game, and maybe his final damage was not that impressive, but the amount of pain and frustration that he was able to deliver to me, or to maybe don't replace me with any other new player. Imagine this. Imagine if the Orion was not played by me, that I know how the game works, but if the Orion was played by a player with like I don't know, 50, 60 battles played in this game. Can you even imagine the feeling of that player being dumpstered so hard by a ship that he cannot even shoot at? Can you imagine the frustration that new players might get from this experience? And this that doesn't go only for battleships, as I said. Imagine the rockets on the destroyers. Imagine AP bombs and torpedoes being launched from super close range at cruisers. So, Wargaming, please fix this somehow. I don't know how exactly, but I'm telling you that the matchmaking of low tiers is not fine. Double CV matches are not fine. Even one CV would not be fine, but two is literally way too much. Is way too much. You need to fix the matchmaking in the sense that you have to forbid double tier 4 CVs from being in the game, or if you don't want to prolong the queue time for those players, at least give tier 4 and 5 more AA. It is completely unfair the amount of damage that the planes can do to the ships in return to the damage that the ships can do to the planes. Simple as that. So please, this is a genuine call, because I love the game, we all love the game, and I don't like the current state of especially low tiers, because this is so unfair, and this is stopping a lot of new players that might, I don't know, enjoy the game from proceeding through and sticking with the game, because as soon as they find a carrier, they're gonna, you know, stop playing their class, playing the carrier instead, get bored of the game and leave. And this is at least what I said, what I heard from many people that I heard of. So plus the frustration that these carriers are gonna generating in new players, it is gonna increase the hate for this class, which is natural because it is a class that you cannot fight against almost. So why it has to be like that? This once again, this is a genuine question. Once again, these are my statistics if compared to the guy before. So as you can see, the difference is skill is huge. Once again, no stat shaming intended here, but this is just the proof of how a non-skilled player can basically dumpster another player with far more skill, far more experience, just because he's playing a specific class. Once again, this is not fair in my opinion. And these are the results of the battle. As you can see, I dealt a damage that a lot of players struggle to deal at tier 10 with the battleship, and I dealt this amount of damage to a tier 4. Yes, I was still clubbing basically. I got Confederate, Devastating, and High Caliber, whatever you want, but still it was not enough to win the game. Once again, I scored even more points than the other guy, the first guy in the enemy team. That was actually the Ryan guy. So once again, well done to that guy for dealing so much damage and for succeeding in getting Solo Warrior and for carrying his team to the win, definitely. But I'm not sure if this is fine and fair in my opinion. Also, as you can see, the damage taken is basically almost everything came from the bombs. 39k out of 54 came from bombs, 4k from torpedoes and some rockets. So only 8.7k damage came from, I would say 10k with fires came from ships. Everything else came from planes that I cannot dodge and I cannot deal with, basically. So, and as we saw, the vast majority of those planes, almost every plane that I shot down was from the same guy. So you cannot say, oh, you shot down planes from both carriers. So, I mean, I shot down 10 planes of the first Rhine, okay, that never came after me, basically. And all the others are planes that I shot down from the other guy, the one that killed me and the one that won the game for his team, basically. I'm not sure. How is what have I mean, I cannot even talk about that anymore. It is so stupid in my opinion that a class is able to deal so much damage with so much ease to anyone that I don't have any words anymore to describe that. So now we are gonna move to another topic, hopefully. Now another aspect of the game that I want to cover, let's say, is the gameplay of high tier this time, because if at low tiers there is the carrier issue, I mean there is also the carrier issue at high tiers, but once again I'm not gonna say that carriers have to be removed or banned. I mean, it would be nice, don't get me wrong, but I already know that this is not gonna happen for multiple reasons. So I'm not gonna say that, but what I want to highlight is that the average gameplay of high tier matches is so boring. It is so boring because everyone is camping, and these team rolls that have been happening lately in this game, especially at tier 10, are insanely high. I don't know, in the last year I've been experimenting a whole lot of matches that are that seem to be doomed from the very start, in the sense that whatever you do, your teammates are gonna die in the first like 6-7 minutes at best of the game, and no one is gonna be approaching the caps. Everyone is gonna be camping in the back, and if a single enemy destroyer is gonna cap a cap, and or even you, or I don't know, you might even your team might even be zeroed very fast. The game is gonna end without you being able to deal any kind of significant damage and to have any kind of impact in the game. Once again, you can say, yes, of course, once you're gonna be in the team that gets steamrolled, and the other time you're gonna be in the team that is steamrolling the opponent. Fine, okay, of course, but it is not a fun experience from both sides in my opinion, because you know it would be fun. It would be more fun to play, at least in my opinion, I would be more pleased to play a game where I have to fight, a close fight that I might lose, instead of having a game where, I don't know, I will be winning the game without me doing anything. Because where's the fun then? Where's the engagement? So, are there any ways to just maybe to slow down a little bit the pace of the points, how the points are ticking? Because from nowadays, the points are ticking way too fast, and matches are ending way too fast, because people are not able to counter the enemy moves. Why? Because the average experience level it has dropped down so much. And one of the main issues with this thing, in my opinion, is that you Wargaming added so many premium ships at high tiers for money or for resources that eventually are gonna be able to be purchased in the game. So this makes a lot of new players, fairly new players, or maybe not new but unexperienced players, to be put in high tier matchmaking that they don't know how to face. And of course, from a money income point of view, this is completely fine from a company point of view, because more players that are buying stuff, more money, everything is working fine, which is okay. Once again, it is understandable from this specific point of view. But from the other point of view, this is not fine, because those players, in my opinion, are not the players that once again, that are gonna stick around with the game for a longer time, that are not gonna be buying a lot of new premiums, that are not gonna buy premium account, because they're gonna buy that specific ship, they're gonna play, maybe they're gonna buy even 2-3 ships, they're gonna buy some premium, maybe not, and they're gonna get bored of the game in like 2-3 months, or maybe even 6 months, and then they're just gonna leave, because a lot of people just play games for a little time and then they're gonna switch, because people are different. Instead, what I saw is that a ton of very experienced players, very good players, that were playing this game for years, left the game or stopped playing in the last couple of years. Players that used to love the game, like I do, and I did, they left because the current situation of high tier game matchmaking, which is a complete fiesta, a complete potato fiesta at this point, because no one, I mean, not no one, but the vast majority of the players are unskilled, and the difference between tier 4 matchmaking and tier 10 is not that much anymore. Once you could pretty much feel a huge difference going from like tier 6, 7, even tier 8 matchmaking to tier 9 and 10. There was this big gap, let's say, in skill and how the game were deploying from mid to low tiers to high tier. But nowadays it is not like that anymore. It is just that people are even more camping even more. Look at the enemy team position. They're almost everyone is behind the H line. Why? They are losing. They are clearly losing the game. Why are they still gonna camp like that or kite? The map is over basically. But this is just what 6.5 minutes into the game. You can clearly see that the enemy team has literally no chances of winning this game anymore. Even if we are just a third of the match, we just spend a third of the time in this match, in theory at least. So I don't know. Is this fun? Is this what the game is intended to be? A super fast game where matches are gonna last like 5-6 minutes at best, or at least, I mean, they're gonna last like 5 minutes to settle who's gonna be the winner in the end. I don't know. Once again, Is this fun? Is this fun? Is this was is it this what you are aiming for wargaming? Because if this is the case, then I have to disagree, because I don't find these kind of battles to be fun. I would once again I would find much more interesting and engaging to play matches where the final outcome is not settled, it is uncertain, because there is this thrill, this huge uh, move towards the victory. In this match I'm just farming damage in an OP ship like Thunder, by the way, because I already know that my team has won the game, because look at the enemy positions. I already know that whatever I do, even if I die in the stupidest way possible, we are gonna win this match regardless, because this is already 99.9% of the time we are gonna win this game, no matter what I do. Even half of our team dies by now, instantly, we are still gonna win this match, 100% sure, because it is pretty clear how the game is deploying. And this was going on from the very start, basically. By the way, just look at how easy it is to eat some damage from the tier 10 German CV. Just a quick reminder of the CV state in this game right now. But once again, the amount of high tier premiums being put for money or for resources is so damn high and so huge, that it is not even fun anymore. You don't see any kind of experienced player anymore at tier 10. Everyone is at best average, and I don't know. I'm so sad about the current state of the game, that I know that, for example, I heard that Flambas is gonna take like a couple of weeks of break time from the game because of many different reasons. A lot of players, a lot of CCs even left the game because multiple reasons. The current state of the game, the current way wargaming is approaching, and he's taking into account the feedbacks of most experienced players, or something like this. So I don't know. I have huge issues with the game right now. Having fun in the game is not that easy as it used to be. Not because I already seen everything in the game, and I have already played everything in the game, but because I feel like the game is taking a path that I don't want to stick with, and this is just I don't know, a call for help. Wargaming, help us find the fun and the engagement back in this game, because right now a lot of players, experienced players, very good players, have left the game already, and many others are gonna leave if you don't do anything. Do you want a player base made of potatoes and just newcomers? If this is what you want, you're pretty much succeeding in that. But is that profitable in the medium to long term? I don't think so. Maybe you know that your game is gonna last like 1-2 years at best from now, and you want to master the money income out of it. This is entirely possible. But this is very sad, in my opinion. This is so sad. If this is the case, I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't have any ways to know that. But it feels like you're just trying to make the most amount of money out of the game before the party ends, basically. Um, and once again, it is pretty sad to watch. But on the other hand, we have subs coming to the game, so new content are added. So I do have hope that this is not the end of World of Warships, but I really feel like this is not the game I want to play anymore, for many different reasons. So I don't know. Also, another issue, as you can see, from this game, I was just farming damage with HE basically till the very last end when I switched to AP. this was a game that I used to just showcase how much free XP a good player, I wouldn't say a very good player like me, a good player like me can farm with a single game 25.5k free XP with all the flags and the camos and whatever. And this wasn't a like 4k base XP game. It was just an average 2 point something k base experience game. So why are people being able to farm so much free XP in such a little time? Because it feels like you wargaming want players to just go through the lines as fast as they can, fasten the grind, and throw in people with no experience in high tier matchmaking, regardless of the final outcome of this. And this goes side by side with adding premium tiers, premium ships of high tier. So these two things combined are making the tier 10 or high tier matchmaking in general so low skill, low level. And as I said before, it doesn't feel like there's a huge difference between tier 4 matchmaking and tier 10 matchmaking anymore. And this is not fun. This is just, it feels like you're playing against potatoes or whoever you're facing. And this is not engaging anymore, at least in my opinion, because I would like to face more competent players even in randoms. I know you might say the clan battles are there for this specific reason. You play with more skilled players on average, at least, and you're gonna face more skilled players in return. Okay, fine, but clan battles are not available all the time. Clan battles require a team to be a coordinated team. Everyone has to be there at the same time in the same day, and this is not doable for everyone. So why not making even randoms a little bit more? I don't know. I wouldn't say skill based, but why not raising the average level of randoms at least at high tiers? Please stop adding those high tier premiums in the game. Please, this is not healthy. If you want to make money out of the game, there are so many ways in which you can make money out of it without adding so many premiums in the game. This is not the best way, in my personal opinion, for the game health. It might be from in the income point of view, but for example, just one of the ideas that I got: why not adding a camouflage editor into the game, so everyone can buy with some doubloons, some elements, some layers of camouflage that you and create their personal camouflage for a specific ship that they like to play, that they love. Maybe, do you even imagine how many money you might be able to raise from this kind of stuff? How many people are gonna spend hours, maybe even me included, customizing their camos and buying some specific elements or graphics to put on the camos? I don't know. Is this so difficult to implement in the client, in the UI? I'm not sure, but I'm just suggesting take this into consideration. There are so many other ways in which you can grab money, grab doubloons from the player base without destroying the matchmaking and the gameplay. This is entirely flavor. This is all customization. So please, why not considering adding some customization thingies in which you can spend, once again, doubloons, money, steel, coal, free XP, whatever, but not on stop adding those super OP camos and flags that speed up the grind so fast, so people can reach high tier ships so damn fast and with no skill whatsoever. And please stop, or at least decrease, the amount of high tier premiums being added to the game for money, for resources, whatever. Because lately, if you put a ship for resources, people are gonna buy some crates, some containers, whatever, from the premium shop with money to get the resources in order to get the ship. So this is still basically ships for money. And I don't know. I felt like doing this long video. I'm sorry, guys, for the length of this video, but I really felt the urge to express my feelings about the game and what are some of the aspects that I think that should be fixed in order to, let's say, save the game, because the path that is taking, in my opinion, is not the correct one, or not the one that I might enjoy in the next foreseeable future. And I don't know. Once again, share it with your friends if you want. Subscribe to the channel if you like this video. I don't know, send it to Wargaming employees if you know some of them, whatever you want, because I don't know. I feel like we are in need of more people talking about this game and how to improve the game. Not because we don't like Wargaming, because we don't trust Wargaming or whatever. It is just because we love the game and we all don't want this game to die and to become worse than it is now. We are all looking into making this game better. This is our goal. So please, Wargaming, if your goal is also to make your game better, more appealing, more engaging, more fun for the player base, please take into consideration some of, experienced players' opinions or feedbacks in a serious way, not the meme way you're being taken so lately. Because lately, I'm sorry to say that, but your last choices, Wargaming, and your last behaviors are pretty much a meme factory, and the amount of distrust that you are that you got so far from the player base, it is just sad, in my opinion. And I can't say that the player base is wrong most of the times, because just like the recent Santa gift thingy, this seems so unfair and so not fun. So I don't know. Maybe rebuilding some trust and from between Wargaming and CCs, experienced players, competitive players. I feel like it is somehow needed in order to kind of save the trust relationship between player base and the company. But if you're not interested in that, I don't know. I don't know what to say anymore. So once again, I will stop talking now. I talked way too much, more than I wanted. Once again, guys, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.